All right, Liverpool versus everybody. I'm back for the final video. Hard to get a hold of people. I get it. Busy weekend. A lot of things going on. So it's just me. Um, first thing I wanted to do is start off with Milner. Apparently, once he got that injury, he went straight to Klopp and said, "Hey, don't think this is going to keep me out of the game." And we know Milner is a battle tested. He's a beast, man. He's a monster. He'll play through pain. He'll play through whatever he can play through to help a team. Doesn't matter what team he's on. Right now, he's on Liverpool, and he's willing to, play through any kind of injury he might have or pain he might have. Now, it's stitches, and there are a lot of players who would sit this game out. What's up, my man? A lot of players will sit this game out. Their head hurts. They don't want to open the wound back up, stitches, get a header or clash of heads, whatever. I mean, clearly that can reopen, and he's not thinking about all he's thinking about is playing for this team. So you gotta love that. Fabinho's been talking really highly about the club and that he's learning things that he's never learned anywhere else in football. That's a big thing to say about a football club. You know what I mean? And a lot of these, in this day and age, players will say all types of things. Sometimes you think, is it genuine? Are they just saying this to say it because it sounds good? Are they trying to get people on their side? Whatever. I don't know Fabinho that well at all, really. I know that he's a good football player. He's Brazilian. He's playing with Liverpool. He's a big dude. He's long. He's leggy, but I don't know his mental state and him as a person, just his personality, his and who he is, um, as an individual. So I'm willing to believe though something like that is something that he really means, and that's a lot. Knowing where he came from, the teams he plays for, the country he's from. That's big. That's big, and that to me bodes very well in the future for players. And you come to Liverpool and you can learn some stuff that you've never learned, or just a different way or different mentality of how to read the game, how to look at the game, your position, whatever. That's really really good. So, with all that said, I'm gonna go deep into the starting 11 of who I think should start. Not who I think Klopp will start, who I think should start and why. Goalkeeper is pretty obvious. Alisson, we paid the money for him. I believe that even the here's my thing. Even if Karius didn't have the issues in preseason, I think Liverpool considered highly changing the goalkeeper. I think they considered it in January of last season. So, or this past few months ago in January. So, I don't know if it's just about the preseason. Now, of course, the preseason didn't really stand him in any good standing with the team because anybody with eyes is thinking, okay, you know what, maybe we really really need to go in hard, on this player. Now, if he didn't have the game he had in the Champions League, um, and we have a better showing, and maybe we go to extra time and lose, or PKs and lose, and maybe not the issues in preseason, we probably keep him as a keeper. But that's ifs, ands, and buts, and those things didn't happen. So the Allison thing was already going to be, or always I should say, going to be a player that we would go for, I believe, or at least a more improved keeper. If it wasn't Allison, it would have been another keeper. So I think that, which is always in the works. Looks like my screen has frozen. I don't know if you guys can still see me. I'm not sure what's going on with this thing. I guess I'll just keep talking. Anyway, so Allison there. For me, right back is Nathaniel Klein. I'm sorry, not Nathaniel Klein. I'm tripping. Right back is Trent Alexander-Arnold. And listen, Nathaniel Klein's been in preseason much longer. I get it. But it's not about who's been there much longer, because for me, there's a lot of players who've been there longer. A lot of young players have been there longer than some of the players that we've got to come in from the World Cup, but they're not going to start. So, I just think Trent has come in here recently and just shown why we love him so much, why we value him so much with this team. He's coming in and shown that in the last two preseason games. So Dominic says Klopp said himself the only reason he replaced him is because Allison was available. If he wasn't, we'd still have Karius. Okay, well that's fine. Yeah, so for me, I spoke about it earlier with Gary on the channel, and I get the people who say things like, oh, the thing was that he's that forgotten man, that one season he had that was so well. But that's fine. We've changed a lot as a team since Nathaniel Klein was fully fit and played a full season. We've changed a lot. And our style is more of our fullbacks being proactive, being attacking, being wingbacks ultimately, with some good defensive attributes as well. I would say maybe more so Robertson than Trent. it's close, but I think he's probably edged him a bit as far as defensively. But Klein never had that guy to really, battle him for that spot. So he knew game in, game out, he was going to start. And that does something to the psyche because it's like, okay, I know I'm playing every single game because there's no one here on this roster that Liverpool have went for to battle me for my spot. So I'm safe. You know what I mean? And it ups your game when you do have that person to battle you. So I think Trent, if he doesn't start, it is what it is. But I think in the long run, that's Trent's position for Liverpool. Joe Gomez, I think Joe Gomez is a late fitness situation. We'll have to see about that. Klein isn't terrible in attack. In his last full fit year, he created the most chances out of fullbacks in the league. Yeah, I don't think he's terrible in attack. I just don't think he's as good as Trent, and that's fine. That's a relevant stat, but I mean, I still don't. I'm more of an eye test guy when it comes to players. Stats are important and they're cool, but if I don't see it on the pitch, the stats people bring up don't really make that much of a difference for me. They're valid, but I'm talking about the eye test. If no one didn't, if you didn't check those stats, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't be able to go back and say, oh man, I remember these games where he was great. No, I'm saying, you know what I mean. So it just doesn't offer what Trent offers, and that's all I'm saying. Dominic, he isn't good as Trent, but too many people say he's terrible. Yeah, maybe. I mean, people are entitled to opinions. Again, I don't think he's terrible. I just don't think he's anywhere near as good as Trent is going forward. Defensively, sure. But he's not going to be able to do a set piece for us. He's not going to really take shots, and if he does, they look really whack to me personally. He doesn't have the pace. He looks really unorthodox and strained sometimes on the ball. And that's just me. I don't know. So why would we start Trenton Phillips, says Thompson. I think we would start Trent because he's a better option. Phillips because we have no central defenders. It comes down to that. Klavan's hurt. Gomez is a late fitness test. Matip we know is out. Lavron is going through whatever he's doing, or Degsley Lavron, whatever you guys like to call him. Mame says Fab needs time. Monaco's system was so different. Not enough intensity, slow movement. A team that gets you sleeping and counter you. Yeah, but he has so much to offer. Maybe even more than Naby. I don't know about more than Naby, but I get your point. Maybe we'll have to see. Yeah, I mean, of course, he needs a little bit more time. Klopp came out and said that. And you can see that much more than Naby. Just the systems that both of those teams play. One in France for Monaco, one in Germany with RB Leipzig. So yeah, and I think that's fine. I think in the meantime, and I'll get to the midfield, of course. I think we have other guys that can deputize there before Fab is fully in that system, in the system, and consistently playing that role. But I think he's definitely going to be a guy that will be consistently in the starting 11 once the season goes on. Dominic says, if it's Gomez, I think we start TAA. However, if we play Phillips, I don't think we're playing Trent and Phillips. Yeah, probably not. Probably not. I think anybody with Van Dijk is going to look decent because he's just that good. He's that good. He looks that good, and he, I think, somehow inspires people that are next to him, or at least gives them a bit of confidence. You can see what's happened with him, whether he's played with Klavan, Lavren, or whoever. You know, it seems to be a nice partnership, whoever he's with. So, Monaco system is in ways was very similar to ours. They counterattacked in the same way to us, and the transitions between defense and attack is the same. The only difference is that he has moved. Yeah, that's a good point. Thompson, yeah, that's too young for West Ham. Probably. Dominic, from a double pivot to a single pivot. Okay, right. That's true. They had the two holding. Okay. Mane, sorry. Trent should definitely start. He's on that momentum. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the kid didn't play much, if at all, in the World Cup. I mean, I don't really get the whole fitness thing. I mean, sure, he hasn't been with the club and he hasn't been training properly. So, I get it from that standpoint. But again, I think he should be starting. I'm not going to harp too much on that right back spot. I think that's one that, surprisingly, in my opinion, splits people's opinions on who should be starting. But Dominic, I don't agree. He should have Phillips. You don't think he should have Phillips start? Yeah. I mean, okay, well, yeah. If Phillips starts, yes, Klein for sure. That's yeah. If Phillips starts, definitely Klein. You know, the more experienced guys back there who actually played in the first team, played in the Premier League for periods of time, should be in the game. I'm not gonna be upset again either way. You know, if it's Trent with Phillips, if it's Phillips with Klein, if it's whatever, I wouldn't be upset. But if it's Gomez, Trent Alexander, yeah. All right, so center backs, I think Van Dijk is a shoe-in every game unless he's hurt or sick. So let's just go ahead and get that out the way. And I think it's gonna be really really important in this game tomorrow. I think a lot of plays will be important, but I think just as far as the defense, as far as him, with these issues we have defensively with a center back partner, and not knowing what the right back's going to be like, him and Alisson going to be really important, and getting that familiarity between Alisson and that back line is going to be good. And we'll see that over the season. Listen, Alisson is going to make mistakes. All goalkeepers do it, So hopefully, there's no one going into this season thinking he's going to be perfect and whatever. We're hoping, obviously, that he's a big improvement on our past keepers that we've had the last few seasons, but he's going to make mistakes. He's human. Dominic says, I don't think Fabinho will start. Genie in 6, Hendo in 8. Yeah, I don't even know if Fabinho's. I mean, I know he's passed his fitness test, but he's apparently ill now. So on the bench maybe. But again, yeah, I'll move on to the midfield here shortly. So yeah, Virgil van Dijk is there. Gonna need his presence. Gonna need his leadership. I'm thinking he might even be captain, depending on if Milner or Henderson don't start. Adam, what's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for having you. Thanks for coming by. Nice to have you. So again, I'm gonna say I'm hoping that Gomez is fit and we can play Gomez. I think Gomez is really, really dying to play in a position that he's, more comfortable to play in. I know he's a young guy who's willing to play wherever he needs to play for the club. But I think he would love to play center back, and why not get him started now if he's fit? Dominic says Pierce reckons he'll be on the bench. His personal opinion, yeah. Either Milner or Hendo will definitely start. Yeah, that's probably what it's looking like. I'd go Milner personally. But again, I'll move to the midfield shortly. So I'm going to say Gomez. Yeah, so we got, in my opinion, Alisson and goal, of course. Trent, if you just joined in. Alisson, Trent, Virgil van Dijk, Gomez. And then left back, it picks itself. If Robertson isn't sick, hurt, in the hospital, on his deathbed, he plays left back for Liverpool Football Club every game. I'm sorry. In the cups, okay, maybe, but Robertson should be the guy every single game. Adam says, "What's up with Lovren?" I don't know. It's not looking too good though. I've been hearing a lot of different things. I don't know what to believe, or if I should believe anything. Clearly he's got some issue. Apparently, allegedly, he was carrying something in the World Cup and fought through that and played through that. He came back, looked okay. You saw the footage of him doing his workout stuff, lifting things up, and all of a sudden his stomach hurts. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with Lovren. It's amazing that people are saying, "Oh, when we started to love Lovren, he does this." Who's we? I've never loved Lovren. He's been a decent player for us. He's had some shining moments. He had some moments that were just, you don't know what you're doing. But after all that pumping his chest, I said this earlier in our video. It's a shame to see this going on because it seems like it has something to do with maybe him not being an integral part of the team moving forward. Maybe he's gotten word that the team is going a different direction as far as center back. I don't know. I don't really care. If he's fit and can play, I'll take him. If he's not, I'm worried about the players that can play, and want to play. So, Dominic says he's pretty much injured. Dominic says he has kept it from Klopp to prevent us from going into the market. Yeah, that's low. He said 4 days ago, one day before a transfer window, he said he was fine, and all of a sudden he's saying he's badly hurt. Yeah. Adam, do you think Klopp will pick Klein over Trent? I think he will. I just don't want him to. I really think he will. I think he'll go with what he sees as a player with a little bit more experience, maybe somehow, Klein. Well, not somehow. Klein has more experience in the game. He's a bit older, so, and especially if Gomez isn't there to play. So, Thompson, in the words of Bill Belichick, next man up. Yeah. No, I'm glad. Thank you. That's a very good way to look at it. Very good analogy. And it is that. It really is. And not that I don't care about the players who aren't playing, but they're not playing. So we got to focus on the guys that we have, the squad that we have. Whether they're players who are starting, guys on the bench, maybe we're bringing up guys from the academy, whatever. That's what we have to focus on for tomorrow. And we won't, some of these will be shocks by the time the game comes around, maybe. So we'll see. Midfield, I've got Genie holding. He's played it before. I want to see him unleashed more this season, but I think Genie, we have to field our best midfield. And to me, I think Genie would be best in that holding role. Obviously, that's if Fab can't play. Henderson, I don't know. Maybe he's too soon for him to come in. I don't want to see Milner in that position. West Ham do have some speed, although not much in the midfield, not much that you could be afraid of. But I think Genie, that's who I pick. I think Milner will probably start at somewhere in that mid three. But for me, I think it's Genie in the holding. Dominic says, if Gomez isn't ready, I don't want him pushing himself. He played through an injury last year and needed an ankle. No, I agree. If he's not ready 100%, 1,000%, it shouldn't be a situation where it's like, oh, let's put him in because we don't want to put Phillips in, and he's young. Listen, Phillips, he's young, but he's a young man, and he's playing professional football. He did really well in preseason. This would be something he would want. He's not going to shy away from that if he's the player that I think he is, as far as physically, but also mentality. If he has the mentality to prove that he can play at this level on this club, in this club, then he'll be looking forward to that role and relish in it and do well. So let's wish him the best if that's the case. Adam says West Ham gonna take time to get started tomorrow. Hopefully, a couple early goals tomorrow. Arnautovic will need stopping tomorrow. Yeah, I don't rate Arnautovic. I get it. I mean, he is one of their threats, one of their best players. But I've never really rated him. So I'm not really concerned with him. I'd say Felipe Anderson is one of the guys, as far as attacking players, that I think can have a spark for them. Also, not afraid of him, not worried about him really, but I think he can provide something for them. Chicharito had a decent World Cup. Does he come back and play a two-prong forward attack like Pellegrini did with City? I don't know. So we'll see. It's a lot of unknowns. I don't know what their midfield is really going to be. I have an idea, but we'll see tomorrow. Dominic says Naby Keita will dominate Wilshere and Noble. I agree. He's never caused us problems from what I can remember. Anderson is who we need to watch. Yeah, I'm not. Arnautovic may have scored against us before, but a lot of players have scored against us that I don't really rate. It just happens. It's football. So anyway, yeah, midfield. Naby Keita for sure. He's got to start. Can't wait to see him in a real game in the Premier League. That's going to be really, really exciting. And I look forward to him really, really just showing what he has at both ends of the field. Defensively, breaking stuff up in the midfield, attacking. I just can't wait to see that. And last but not least, I'm going with Shaqiri. Now, listen, I know that's a little bit left field, and people are probably thinking Milner, Hendo experience. You don't want too many guys getting their first games, Liverpool at home. But I would like to see Shaqiri playing. I think we should get out on them early. It's nice to have bench players, guys to give us sparks. But I think in a game maybe against City or if Chelsea was the first game or the top 6 team, then you say, okay, Shaqiri bench. We need you to come off, give us a spark, give us a goal here, give us assist, set piece, whatever. I think if we have him and Naby and Gini in that midfield with the rest of the players attacking that I'll get to in a second, then I think we have the best chance of getting goals early. It probably won't happen again. I doubt Klopp will do that, but that's what I'm going with. Dominic says, and what is worrying is that Anderson may be on the side of Phillips. That's why Phillips, we need Klein. Yeah. I agree Shaqiri should start, but I am 80% sure he won't. Yeah, probably not. Adam, I hope we don't start with Hendo and Milner tomorrow, but we probably might. He probably will. Yeah. I mean, listen, Klopp's not gonna want to put a whole bunch of first-time guys or a lot of if we have Phillips, that's one thing that's like, ugh, we got to do that. You don't want to add guys who haven't played at Anfield in the actual Premier League game, new to the system, stuff like that. So listen, it probably will be Milner or Henderson somewhere in that starting 11. So we'll see. But that's mine. Gini, Naby, and Shaqiri. I think that's a really good, powerful midfield. And if we have to, switch and maybe have Naby playing DM some possession, sometimes during the game, and have Gini and Shaqiri going forward, fine. If we're playing more of a 4-2-3-1 sometimes, cool. We're going to be flexible anyway. So I don't think it's a bad lineup up into the midfield. So, yeah, I think the forward players decide themselves. And I've been going back and forth. I said Sturridge earlier in the week, but I can't lie. I'm really, really dying to see our 3, Firmino, Salah, and Mane back at it again. I think Sturridge probably comes on maybe after an hour for Firmino. But yeah, I don't think he should start. I wouldn't be mad if he did, but I don't think he should, and I don't think Klopp is going to go with him. So again, if we need someone off the bench, we'll have that. So can't be really mad at that. Dominic says, do you not think Gini, Keita, and Shaq is too attacking? No, I see what you mean. But like I said, I think people forget that, Naby can play that defensive role at times. And Gini's also proved it. So I don't think so. I see what you mean, and that's a valid question. But I don't think it's too attacking. It's attacking, but it's also a 3 that can be shifty as well. You can have Shaqiri kind of like at the point of Gini and Naby holding. At moments, you can have Gini by himself with Naby and Shaq going forward. You can have Naby there. So the only player of those 3 that you can't really see playing a sole defensive role is Shaqiri. So, I don't think it's that much of an attack. I mean, it is, but I don't think that's going to be something that could cause us issues or be a problem for us. So, But good question. To be fair, Genie and Naby can both tackle well, so it would be good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And again, I wouldn't be upset if Milner's in there, so fine. Or Hendo, to be honest. Even though Hendo hasn't played that much this preseason. Sturridge has been great. He will get some playing time this season, I'm sure. Yeah, well, you just got to stay healthy. Got to stay healthy. I mean, Klopp's always said it. He said it a bunch of times. A fit Daniel Sturridge is not a player that you question his ability. If he's fit, he's not going to score every game, but he'll show flashes. You know that him being on the pitch can be a problem for whatever team we're playing against. So, yeah, if he stays fit, of course, he can be a huge role, a huge, piece to the puzzle, if you will, this season. So let's hope that's the case. I really want Sturridge to do well in this season, especially if it's going to be his last season. But we'll see. Dominic, I think he'll bring Sturridge in around. So yeah, Firmino isn't fully fit, but you start just because of the chemistry. Yeah, exactly. So, no question about that. Like Klopp said, who doubts it fit? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I said it before, and people can think I'm crazy, but if Sturridge doesn't have this injury history that he's had, he's on level with Kane, I think, or better, and he's leading the line for England. That's just facts. He's just a better striker to me if he's fit, personally. Thompson for Sturridge just needs time, restriction in order to stay fit. Yeah. And I think this is the best place for him to be for that. He spoke about going to West Brom and just not really being in the right place, obviously, and you see why he went to go. But I think Liverpool is the best place for him to be as far as knowing how to manage him. Klopp said it was about a week or so that he didn't even go through all the full training things at Liverpool this preseason. So they're managing him well. They're making sure that they can do everything they can to keep him fit. At the end of the day, it's really up to to Danny's body, and that's really what it comes down to. Is it going to let him down or is it? So Dominic says he has more overall talent than Kane. Yeah, it's not even close. It's not even close. All due respect to Kane for whatever he's good at, but it's not even close. So his composure is his best attribute. Yeah, and his feet. Yeah, his composure, his feet, and just his overall belief in himself. Not that Kane doesn't have any other striker. You need that, of course, but Sturridge has this kind of swag about him. You know what I mean? That even with his injuries, he's always a guy who's going to believe in his talent and his skills, and gets on the pitch and he'll always do his best. So that's my starting 11. I think there's so many different ways you can go with it, different opinions. There'll be other people who have different starting 11s, of course. We're not all the same. But to me, that's the strongest 11 that we could possibly put on the field right now. And let's hope that the guys who are hurt, I'm not going to go through the whole list because it's irritating just thinking about it, are back sooner than later. Again, these first few fixtures, if we can't come out on top, we've got some serious issues. And I mean that. I don't mean to be over dramatic, but these first 3 to 4 or 5 fixtures, they can really, really put us in a good place. Again, you can't win the league after 4 or 5 games, but it give you some cushion. It's leading you into the holiday season. These cold months that are coming up, it's going to put you in a good place, in a steady place, just to tread on in the season. I mean, things can happen, but you want to start off really good, and we have that opportunity to do it. First 3 games, obviously West Ham, Palace, and I think Brighton. All 3 teams, we should be beating them, and that's just what it is. Not based on anything those teams did in the first week so far. Palace handled their business. I think Brighton lost. West Ham haven't played, of course. They're playing us tomorrow. I don't know who the 4th game is. I can't remember, but we should be dominating these teams, at least beating them. So again, I spoke about it before. I'm really wanting to see how this team is going to gel this season. Dominic says I'd be content with 10, 12 out of first 4. We should get 12. Yeah, we should. And I mean, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, a draw isn't the worst thing, but again, these are teams that we should be beating. If we want to really be serious about a title challenge, I'm not saying we got to go undefeated or get 100 points like City. But what I am saying is that we need to be beating these teams, because best believe Liverpool will be up, especially this season when it comes against the likes of Tottenham, Chelsea, United, City, all these, Arsenal, all these top 6 teams. They're going to be up for that. We got to be able to make sure that we're up for and playing these other teams tough too, because they're not going to lie down, especially this season. A lot of these teams are hungry. You know what I mean? Wolves, they look really good today. Leicester looked decent, I thought. There are teams that are going to be hungry this season to knock us off because of the talk of us being the best team next to City. So, gotta be strong this season, man. We gotta be strong this season and put together a serious run. Injuries or not, there's no excuses. The team that we have with the players that we have, we should be able to put a challenge this season. So, but it all depends on what we get against Spurs. City have a really easy run, so we can't allow them to get lead. Yeah, I agree with that, Dominic. Thompson with Allison in goal. Can grind out result. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. And I'll get to that in a second. Thank you for that comment, man. Adam, Arsenal versus City tomorrow should be a good game. Maybe, and it's a big maybe. Arsenal take something. I think they do. People are saying it's a big maybe and they're doubting it. I mean, I got friends on Twitter, Arsenal fans, that saying they don't see anything but maybe a draw, but most likely a loss. And I don't see that. I don't see that. I see a draw at the least a draw. I think Arsenal will be good tomorrow against City. That's just my thinking. Dominic, why didn't we pick up Madison, man, as a Lallana? Yeah, a lot of people were saying that. Probably could have got him and sold Lallana. Yeah, look, woulda, coulda, shoulda. We didn't do it. So, but Madison does look quality. That's true. He looks good. Tony, what up, bro? Dominic, Fabinho will help with grinding results. Yeah, again, and that's why I'm not so worried about. I don't think I was ever worried about not getting another center back. I think it irritated me because I felt like we needed it. But because of this keeper, if he's as good as we all think he is, we've seen him be. Everyone says he is. You know, Brazil's #1, great season at Roma. It's up to him to prove. I mean, I love when they asked Klopp about Alisson. This is why I love Klopp. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I love Klopp, but the answer was, I want Alisson to be a goalkeeper. That's it. Not a model, you know, not a hairdresser, not on social media doing all this other foolishness. I want him to be a goalkeeper. Now, again, I don't think Klopp really minds what guys are doing off the field. That's me kind of throwing in an extra jab at Karius. But, you know, that's your job. Be a keeper. That's all you want. And I think if Alisson does that, does his job, then we can be really, really special. And we can grind out wins. Because there's games like that where games go on and we allow these games to go on and it's a low block and they get a fluke goal. Swansea was a prime example. They get a goal off a fluke header or punch in or whatever. And that's it. You know what I mean? So, yes, we have to take our chances, but we need to have this keeper really, really come in and do really well for us. So hopefully that happens. Dominic's Arsenal defense is very poor. I can't see them drawing. Yeah, I mean, again, I think a lot of people probably agree with you. I think City's defense is poor. Nobody will agree with that, but I'm not really impressed with their defense either. Mendy being back for them helps, but they don't have a defense that I would be worried about if I'm a manager going in. But that's just me. KT can help us break down the small teams who park the bus. I agree. You know, it's a really good conversation with HH, Man Like Matt, and Drifty on their channel. So shout out to Football Banner Show. And I love Matt personally, man. I mean, I love all the guys. They're all good. But Matt has a really, really, in my opinion, underrated football mind. And the things he was saying about the 10, and I think Drifty has been banging the drum for this for a long time, as needing a replacement, a Coutinho replacement. And I agree with Matt. I don't think we need that. I think we need a player who can play that role, but doesn't necessarily have to be a natural number 10. We need a guy who can do some of the things that Coutinho did. Let's be real. We had Coutinho, and he didn't do amazing things. We didn't win a trophy with him. He wasn't always the guy to unlock the low block. So we need players that can do those roles and do them well. And I think Naby can do it. I think so our set pieces, Trent can do it. Shaqiri can do it. Genie can do some things unlocking defenses. So, you know, I don't really agree with the whole idea that we need another Coutinho or a new Coutinho or you know, specifically a number 10. I don't really think that. But, you know, everybody has their opinion, and I think it wouldn't be the worst thing if we got one, but I don't think it's a must-have personally. Let's see. Tony says United get a goal, and he shuts up. Stop Marino got lucky with that fat Southampton reject score. Do you think Chelsea have a really good midfield now? Jorginho and that new guy on loan from Madrid. Yeah, well, I mean, on paper, it definitely looks that way. I mean, any midfield with Conte is going to be good. I'm sorry. Him alone. He's just got his goal today. I think Conte's the best football player in the world. Call me crazy, laugh at me, unfollow, curse me, whatever. I think Conte is the best football player in the world. Not because he scored today, because he just does so much for a team. And everywhere he goes, they lift trophies. Leicester City, trophy. Chelsea, trophy. The French national team, trophy. I mean, look how good Pogba looked next to that. Best player in the world. I'm sorry. Not the best scorer. Let's not. We're not gonna get in the conversation of who scores the most. I'm not saying that. The best player. And I think Pogba is really close too. HH had some flack for that. He said on Twitter that he's the best player in football, but I think he's up there near Conte. I think you may give Pogba a slight advantage. You know, because of the more skillful or attacking things he can do. Just all around though, it's a true statement in my opinion. Got 7 guys in here. Thank you guys. I wasn't expecting all these people. Let's see. I'm on about the game yesterday, by the way, about that fat guy scoring. No, I know what you meant, man. I know what you meant. Dom says all that Coutinho did to unlock teams with Score Screamers. Thank you. Thank you. I'm tired of people overrating Coutinho. When did he exactly? I don't have to read the rest of that comment. Thank you, good comment, and I don't have to even respond to that anymore. Thompson says Michael or Coutinho. Sorry, Michael. Coutinho's best season came when he played as a winger. Um, I think his best season came the summer he or the January he left us, and that was even a full season. That was the best I'd ever seen Coutinho consistently. And I think that was part of him just trying to show Barcelona like, yo, just come get me. Dominic says Chelsea have good midfield but not enough goals. Yeah, probably not. Russ Barkley's been playing, I think, in a more central role now, attacking role. He won't have that for long, I don't think. I think Kovacic will come in. Is he playing midfield? Is he playing? Yeah, I think he's playing in midfield. Adam says, for me, Chelsea keeping Willian and Hazard, I reckon they will be okay top four. They should be. They should be. Will be close between United. And listen, this whole sorry ball thing, I'm not impressed yet. I'm not convinced yet. But it's a long season, so for them, it's a getting rid of Courtois is one thing, but it's big for them to be able to keep Hazard. Let's be real. Now, I'm not as crazy as HH. I'm not going to sit here and say that Hazard is the best football player in the Premier League. To me, that's nonsense. But if he will love a guy who can dip a shoulder and fast and all that, fine. He did get the assist, I believe, for the third goal for Pedro. Another waste player for me. He's not really that great. But yeah, I think keeping Willian, Hazard, Conte, because a lot of those guys wanted to leave. So, yeah, Tony, everyone is comparing Conte to Keita. Yeah, yeah, no. Yeah. It is a common comparison. You kind of get why, or I do, but they are definitely different players. I think Keita might be had the potential. I mean, not because Conte is the best football player in the world, has the potential to be, Conte and more because of his attacking skills. So let's see, sorry, we'll get Chelsea top four. That should be the first target. Yeah, he probably will. Um, we'll see what happens. Tony, I think they will do well in the Europa League. They should. They should. Dominic said, for me, the best attacker in the league is De Bruyne, hands down. The best attacker? The best midfield attacker? Like attacking midfield player? I don't know. I'm sorry, man. I don't know. I mean, De Bruyne is good. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not good, but I think he's another guy that gets a fair bit of hype. I don't know. He's just not. Maybe he's just not my style of player. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some of these guys, if you are physical with them, they kind of go hiding, and I don't like players like that. And that's my opinion. But yes, he is probably one of the best, if not the best attacking players in the Premier League. I gotta admit that, whether I like him or not, that's true. As far as setting up a goal, scoring a goal himself, smart. He's very cerebral. That's the issue with De Bruyne. He's a very intelligent football player. So Tony says the only team that can buy a player for 60 million and put him on the bench is no question. I guess you're talking about Mahrez. Thompson, who do you think is EPL best player? Conte. He's the best player in the world, and he's the best Premier League player. Boring answer, but that's my opinion. Sane got a point to prove. Get him in your fantasy teams. A point to prove why? Because of the Germany team and not making that? Because I don't know if I agree with that. Dom, did you see Neves today? Yeah, Neves is amazing. I talked about it in the last video on the channel. Scored a set piece goal that I knew was going on. The moment they got that red card, you saw him stepping up, or Jackie Ever got the red card. I knew it was going in, right in front of the fans. He's money from that. He's been doing that ever since he's been playing in England. You know what I mean? So whether it be a championship or now, so to come in, get a goal, get an assist, step up for your team, and that Wolves team showed a lot of heart, man. This is their first season up here. Well, not first season, but first time. This is their season back after 6 seasons, and young team. That was good, but Neves, yeah, Neves is a player, man. Neves is a player. For free kicks, passing, it's crazy. It's crazy. Um, yeah, the chat is lit. Yeah, I mean, yeah, for a humble channel like this is pretty lit. So I appreciate you guys. Mame, well, for now, best striker in the Premier League is Salah. I'll take that. Adam, you're for not making the Germany team. I don't know about that, man. I mean, maybe. I don't think he has to prove anything. I think Sane has shown how good he is. Not making the Germany team is one thing. If anything, he might just want to, put it on even more. Not to prove anything, just to show people, like, look, y'all know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I can play. I didn't make the Germany team, but I'm here. And now I'm just, I'm going to just hurt people this season because, Yeah, so maybe I don't know. I don't know if it prove anything, but you know. Tony says Sane will do bits. He'll probably score in front of the top two. That prick. Dominic, I knew he was going top right corner. Yeah, yeah, you knew it was going in, man. It was a beautiful, beautiful shot, and the pass was beautiful as well. Um, yeah, Raul Jimenez, the Mexican international, is also really good. They got a good squad. They got a good squad. I'm not big on Matinho. He got a lot. He got a lot of hype in the build up in the game when I was watching here. I've never rated him that high. I've seen him play at Monaco. I've seen him play for the Portuguese team. Maybe I'm missing something. And I'm not expecting some dynamism type of play, but I just didn't really see what the hype was for Matinho. But it's the first game again, so we'll see what happens. Neves 21. Yeah, he's a beast. Neves cheated on that free kick. He put the ball 5 yards from foul position. Oh, did he? I didn't know that. Hey, look, the ref doesn't call it fine. There's some few things this opening weekend. Sacco had a horrendous tackle on the Fulham player. Didn't get a call for that. Um, it's the Premier League, so let's get ready for all the foolishness. And it's been said that Liverpool is the most unluckiest team, so get ready for some of that foolishness as well. Everton will never change, says Mame. Wolves drew with Everton. Charleston scored twice today. Half of that 40 million playing. Yeah, I mean he's a good player. He's a good player, and that's all you. That's what he's asked to do. I don't care if the first goal was lucky or whatever. You're there to score goals, and he did that, so you got to give him credit. Young guy, pressure is on. I said this already in the last video, but yeah, pressure is on, and he got a brace in his first game at Everton. So listen, good for him. Dominic said, "Behave." 20 million paid off by us. 100%. He's already proven he can do it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sign it. Yeah, for sure. Tony says we should bring in another striker, increase Mane, or in case Mane sound like it's yeah, it's good, but you want someone like Son or Aguero. Yeah, yeah. I agree with that. And that's I talked about it. I thought this window. If there's anyone who thinks we were 10 for 10, that's fair. But I'd like to know why you think we got a 10 out of 10 for this transfer. Because to me, honestly, the more I think about it, I'm going 7 out of 10. And I say that because look, I don't want to be I'm not typically like up and down and switching my stuff, but I say 7 because I think there need to be 3 more players. I know that's a big window, but hey, you got to do it sometimes. Another attacker would have been good. Another midfielder and a center back. That to me would have made it 10 out of 10. Maybe you can give it 8. Maybe I'm being too harsh, but I think 7. And I think 7 is good. I think 7 is good. Um, let's see, Dominic. For me, we can't win the league without the referees. Yeah, I mean, let's hope that we don't have to. It doesn't have to come down to that because I don't. I hate to blame referees, but I hate what you mean. Have you ever went over to Anfield? No, I have not. Definitely plan on doing that sooner than later. Tony, Dominic. Yeah, I heard we are paying for their transfers. Liverpool Council are mad. Yeah. It's not my money. I don't really care. Dominic, when you look at it, um, say City go back. Let me just put this. I probably need glasses or something. Say City go back 6 7 points and we don't get screwed by refs. We're around 5 6 points for this year. Yeah, 5 6 to game. Who are the underdogs do you think this season? Underdogs. And you got to say Chelsea. Finishing outside the top 4 last season. New manager, new ways of playing, a lot of new players. Arsenal. Um, apparently Wolves are the eighth. As far as teams that win it, they're the eighth team that people think of. Probably City, Liverpool, and then the six, and then somehow Wolves made it up there. So there's someone thinking that Wolves are going to be really good this season. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I would probably say those Chelsea and Arsenal are definitely the underdogs, or the teams that you would think may have some trouble getting in that top 4. Tony says, I heard we were the unluckiest last season. Yeah, yep. Dominic says Chelsea haven't got the goals in them to go far, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, their striker position is abysmal, and I get you going for Kovacic and the keeper and Jorginho and all that, but you need a striker, and that French guy who's got a World Cup, so hats off to him. He's not a guy who's going to get you a bag of goals. So once again, it'll be on Hazard and Willian to get this team through. And can they look? Morata's going to score some goals this season, right? Giroud's going to score some goals, but is it enough for them to get over the hill? I don't know. So I agree with you on that one, man. Tony, I think they need another striker. Yeah, another defender. Yeah, Morata is dead, and they don't have. Yeah, yeah, no, that's true. That's true. But you never know, man. They can get goals from a lot of different players, as well. Alonso showed that he can score. Now I know he's not probably not gonna score double digits, but he can score. Maybe Moses on the wing. I don't think Moses started today. I don't know if that means that Sarri doesn't value him there, or maybe he's just resting him. I don't even know if he came on. I turned that game on after game off after a while because to me it was no point in watching it. Dominic says their window wasn't as good as made out because they didn't score their biggest problem position. Yeah, yeah, I get you. Tony, when do you think we will sign new center back? Maybe when Klopp sees Matip barely play. You would think he sees that now. I don't know, Tony, man. I don't know. Maybe January. At this point, it's got to be a must be or January, right? Because listen, Matip's not going to be fit consistently, and even when he is, do we any of us really rate him? I think when he first come in, he was amazing. I got a T-shirt with his name on the back. I mean, I thought Matip was going to be really special. We got it for free, I believe, from Schalke. So, but he just turned out to be, average at best, personally. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Dominic, Alonso defensively is a big problem. That's true. That's true. I think we'll sign a center back in January. Yeah, yeah. I don't know who that'll be, but yeah. You hope Story starts. What's up, Nova? Good to see you, bro. It's been a while. Yeah, I said I wouldn't mind him starting, and early in the week, a couple days ago, I was saying I actually had him in my starting lineup. Today, I said Firmino. Um, I just want to see Firmino, Salah, and Mane. I really want to see them together and terrorizing defenses. And I think Firmino is just so important to what we do. Sturridge can be important to us, but I mean, Sturridge is not Firmino, let's be honest. And they're different players, and they both have different sets of skill sets that we like. But, Firmino, that coming deep and being creative with the passing, again, I know Sturridge can do that, but you know what I mean. I think Firmino just gets the nod in this game for sure. Gomez will surprise a few when he comes back from injury. Tony, I hope so. Tarkovsky is most like, Tarkovsky would be a good option in January. They'd be a great option actually. So let's look out for that. Tony Sturridge, new signing. Yep, I've been saying that. And it was funny because people were saying that about Lallana. If he's fit and plays well, it's like a new signing. I don't see that. Although I think Lallana could be special. I think he could. I think he could be special. Keyword if. Yeah, yeah. We should try scam out money for Sturridge. Chelsea need a striker. I don't know. I don't even know if Sturridge want to go back to Chelsea. I don't know about that though. It's possible, but yeah. So that's my starting 11. That's my bit on the team. I'm not gonna wrap you guys up too much. Thanks for everybody coming in. All you guys, man. Dominic, Tom, Nova, good to see you back. Tony, Mame, I don't know if he left or not, but all you guys, we reached to 9 in the chat here, and that was cool. Adam, of course, Thompson. If I forget your name, I don't mean it personally. Scrolling through, I think I got everybody. But thank all you guys, man, seriously, for continued supporting of the channel, the interaction, everything. I appreciate it, man. So let's be excited tomorrow. Again, like I said, the game starts at 8 p.m. here. 8 a.m. or 8:30. 8 or 8:30. So we'll be up bright and early, getting some breakfast, getting some brew, and we'll be here before the game, halftime, and at the end. So enjoy the game, guys. Let's hope by halftime we're all happy and all talking about how wonderful our attacking play is and defensive is and manager is and club is. See you soon.